What's up, folks? Back with another reaction. Back for a second try at reacting to a track by Tokio, a Japanese rock band I'm very fond of. I reacted to their Fragile track. YouTube blocked it worldwide. I spent a few minutes talking about Tokio and their lead singer, Nagase Tomoya. Just a really funny actor, like a really compelling actor, and also a very good singer. But yeah, I spent a few minutes talking about the band and about him specifically, and then so when the video got blocked, I was like, well, I'm gonna leave it up because at least I talk for a few minutes about the band or whatever. But then it's like I watched the video and like 4.5 minutes of just complete silence, and I'm kind of like grooving to it's just it just was so annoying to me that I was like, you know what, I'm gonna remove the video. So not sure I'm going to be able to react to Fragile. Yeah, I think that one is like more copyright protected, which I say because on my old channel, I had done a like saved playlist of tracks that I had heard in different J dramas, and I remember when I found Elemental, I found Fragile when I was searching, but then when I went to put it into my playlist, it like wouldn't let me watch it because it was like, oh, in your region, like you can't like look at that, which is weird because like if I just searched it out on my own and watched it independently, it was fine. But if I put it in the saved playlist I had and then tried to watch it within that context, it wouldn't show it to me. So for some reason, I think Fragile is more copyright protected than some of their other songs, because I put some of their other songs in that playlist and it didn't get blocked, or it still let me watch it. And one of those is Sorafune. So Sorafune, this is the theme song from a show called My Boss, My Hero, and again, this is the lead singer of Tokio here. This is from 2006, this show. Maybe the song's from 2005. It was actually written by a woman, I forget her name. Hold on, I had it out earlier when I was looking. Let me see if I still have it out. Yeah, it was written by Nakajima Miyuki, who she's a singer and songwriter. She was born in '52. Yeah, she's done a lot of like theme songs for different dramas, at least like a dozen or so. But yeah, apparently she wrote Sorafune, but it's performed by Tokio, which as I said, Nagase Tomoya is the lead singer. I think when they originally got formed, he wasn't in the group, and then the label wanted to like shuffle up the lineup a little bit, so they brought him in, and then I think that lineup, and again this is like I think '04 something like that, that lineup has been steady pretty much since. And again, as I said in the reaction to Fragile, no longer on the channel, he has acted in a number of shows that I've seen over the years, like a show called Kurakochi, Fragile, of course, My Boss, My Hero. I'm blanking on a couple, but yeah, he's a really funny actor. Often plays like larger than life characters, though he does play like a bit more like straight in like certain performances. But yeah, he's kind of like this larger than life actor. He's very funny. But as I mentioned in my reaction to Fragile, it's really interesting to me because his spoken voice and the voice he uses when he acts has a very deep, kind of like heavy, powerful sound. But when he sings, he goes a lot higher, and it's more of like kind of golden and melodic. So it's interesting to me the contrast between his speaking voice and his singing voice. So the song Sorafune, again, the theme song to My Boss, My Hero, and My Boss, My Hero is essentially like a sort of Japanese version of Billy Madison, if you know that movie. It's basically like this Yakuza, like, first son, like, in line to inherit his dad's Yakuza, like, empire. But to prove to his dad that he's smart enough, he has to go back and actually graduate from high school, because he never actually graduated. Like, his dad basically paid his teachers not to flunk him and, like, whatever. So he got his degree, but he didn't actually, like, know enough to, like, graduate high school. And so his dad, you need to prove to me that you're smart enough to do this, because he has a younger brother who's like a whiz kid. He went off to college and like whatever, and he didn't originally want anything to do with that life. But now he's come back from college and he's like, hey, I actually want to take over the family business. And so Nagase Tomoya's character, Makio, he has to like prove to his dad that like, no, I'm really the one that should take over. I'm going to go back to high school, actually graduate, and prove to you that I'm smart enough. And it's just all the hijinks that go along with a guy in his late 20s who's actually like a gangster like pretending to be like a goody two shoe like high school student. So it's all this comedy, but you know, like with a lot of J dramas, it's like it mixes comedy, like drama, romance. There are some more serious moments. The music is used very well throughout the show, not just like a theme song, but a lot of the like score, different pieces. So it's a really cool show. It's, you know, there's a different, I think there's like a Korean version of it. There's a few different versions, but I think this one was first. Maybe the Korean one was first, now that I say that. I'm not sure. Again, this one aired in '06, and it was one of the very first shows I saw. I think it was like Kimi wa Peto, Haniori Dango, this one, Notame Cantabile. I think those were like the first four. But anyway, Sorafune, the song, lyrically, I remember seeing like a translation, because the first time I saw My Boss, My Hero, it was a fan sub, and fan subs are like good translations generally. And so they like actually did the translation for the theme song too. And from what I could tell, it seems to use like a boat and like rowing in a boat as like a metaphor for life, that like, you know, people who are ultimately maybe gonna like, you know, talk behind your back or drag you down or like, you know, try to take advantage of you rather than genuinely being like supportive and your friend or whatever. You don't want them with an oar in your boat. You don't want them like rowing your boat. You like have to decide like where your boat is gonna go, and you know, saving the space for people that are worthy of it. So again, it's like a lot of the lines are about like heading forward in a boat and like, you know, not letting people who are going to betray you grab an oar. So I think it's sort of like a metaphor just about life, that like, you know, make sure you have the right people around you. Don't let anyone who, you know, seems to want to help just because, you know, don't necessarily like, you know, take them at their word. So yeah, like I said, I think it's sort of a metaphor for life, but let's get to it. This is Tokio, Tokio, the older like Romaji or English spelling of the Japanese capital, although Kamakura was also the capital for a little bit. Whatever, I'm getting off track. This is Tokio, Sorafune from the My Boss, My Hero show, 2006. has like sort of like a, almost like a stop pump kind of feel a little. So much lower than this. Like the rhythm without one line. Heard "Oh My" in there. It's sort of a rude way. Or like at least informal. I like the horns a lot. As well as that, like, dark, descending scale or whatever that like that little guitar riff before the chorus, a little quick.
何を狙って付き合うんだ何が船を動かすんだ何の試験の時間なんだ何を裁く計りなんだ何を狙って付き合うんだ
Even without knowing all the lines, I love the rhythm, that like kind of staccato delivery of that section. Yeah, super cool song. It's very nostalgic for me. Again, My Boss, My Hero was maybe like the second or third J-drama I ever watched, so it's a song I've known for a long time. Again, it's like different Tokyo songs have different feels. The Fragile song that I reacted to, which, you know, even if I can't get a reaction to it up, there's at least like a live performance of it that I was able to find when I was like looking last night. Like, is this song, can I even like find it on YouTube? Yeah, there's a live performance, so I'd recommend checking out Fragile if you haven't heard it before. But yeah, a lot of their songs have very different feels. This one, as I said, almost has sort of like a slightly slower but still sort of like ska punk kind of feel. Others have a very like dramatic, almost like instrumental kind of rock feel. Others, the Fragile is very much like a ballad. So yeah, they have some variety, they have some different style. They've been making music a long time. So yeah, shout out to Tokio, shout out to Nagase Tomoya. Like I said, just a very funny actor. And once more, it is really interesting to me how differently he sounds when he sings compared to how he talks, where he often, like, he talks in this deep, sort of tough voice. And again, part of that is because he's playing larger-than-life characters. But even when he's, like, just kind of talking and not, you know, being overly sort of, like, dramatic or over the top, he still has a much deeper voice than you hear him when he sings. So I've always found that very interesting. Yeah, let me know what you think of the song. I'm trying to remember if I have more Tokyo like theme songs from shows. I think maybe one. There's a theme song from Kurokochi that's a Tokyo song, so perhaps I'll come back and react to that one. Other than that, let me know what you think. I'll see you next time.